life, we always take in new things, then we process them, and then we have to let go of the waste, the poisons. Use a muscle, then there's always the waste afterward. And the very basic part of health and well-being is to make sure that the body cleanses and lets go of toxins and waste products. Our mental thinking involves not letting negative thoughts disturb the thinking process in general. So from a physical, nutritional, and mental point of view, it is very important to be able to let toxins, let poisons, difficult things, let them go, help the body use all the mechanisms it has to let toxins go. This relates to drug abuse, this relates to anxiety, and this relates to well-being on all levels. And so acupuncture is, this ear acupuncture formula that we have helps this process of detoxification, the different vital organs release. It helps the mind not be bottled up, but let go, stretch out. And then we have space to move forward again. So detoxification or cleansing is a very important part of life in all respects. And it's one reason that we call the clinical process that we're doing ear acupuncture detoxification, because we want that cleansing. Okay. Ear acupuncture is based on reality that there are points on the ear that correspond to all parts of the body, that the body function is sort of reflected on the ear, so that if you have a stiff neck, the neck area in the ear will also be stiff. And if you have an irritated stomach area on the ear will be red and look irritated. The point location in the ear looks quite complicated, but actually the concept is fairly simple. You have the ear is a situation where this is the face down here, and this is the part of the central nervous system goes right around this area like this. And it's easy to remember these points if you consider that the ear is essentially represented. So what is here at this part of the ear, this is the face, and then you have the front of the head, you have the spinal column going all the way around here, and this is the lumbar area, and then you have the limbs going down. The first rule is that the ear is an upside-down baby. The second rule is that points that are inside in the cave represent internal organs. And the third rule just mixes the two. It says that you have the spinal canal, the brain, and the nervous system goes around the surface. So this is the tail, and this is the head. Called the sympathetic. You put the needle straight along this ridge into the side of this curl of the ear here. And this is a point that represents the very bottom of the central nervous system. The idea being that when we are tense, the brain and the pituitary and the top of the central nervous system is sort of overheated and over-functioning. And so by stimulating the bottom, you're sort of letting release all the excess congestion release like that. Sympathetic is a very important location. The second location that we're talking about is the shen point, which is the word shen head and we ask them to breathe in and out, so be more balanced. And we're doing those points in the ear for that kind of reason. The shen point, which is the word shen word, and it means gate of the spirit, gate that the God is located, the God enters, or the God within you, how to find the spirit. And this is a point that also it represents in location from their head, and we ask them to breathe in and out, so be more balanced. And we're doing those points in the ear for that. At the outset, it's very hard to draw pictures of the ear. This is the way to find the see it on a computer screen because you have all these shadows. These two are the most famous points in here. This is the ear here, and the first point we do is these are basic grounding supportive points right along the and that's our attention. The third point we use in this novel formula is the long point, and it's one of the points that hurts the least area of the ear, in the inner part of the ear here. You never tense. And the lung point has to do with the second point we use is the process that relates to the lung, that is relaxation, letting go. So sort of a ridge, a triangle ridge like this, and the gate is a rhythm near the tip of the side rhythm. So we ask a person to here. The gate of the spirit is the place where the spirit enters, the God within, how to find where your spirit is. The third point is the lung point, which is a whole area, most exact area rather than an exact location. And this is things from here to down here in the bottom of the cave of the ear, and somebody puts on it. Second one is actually a good name. It's Shen Men. That's a Chinese word for gate of the spirit, gate of the God within. And this is in location in the lower abdomen, so this is like a yoga point. And these two are the most famous points in acupuncture. They're used most of the time. And the third one is the lung point, which is a basic relaxing point. These points are all areas. They are not points. So if the needle is close enough, it will work out fine. And no one looks at it. Mm-hmm. And when you use an electrical stimulator, you're really treating the whole ear because the sensation spreads through the whole ear. Mm-hmm. And he did that because that was the way you did surgery. We started with Dr. Wynn's point, and then we wanted to add some other points, so we added the Shen Men point without electricity, and we just put electricity on the one point, the lung point. Then one day our stimulator broke, and we had to give treatment anyway. So we thought that the treatment probably wouldn't work as well, but we just put the needles in as best we could. It used to be we gave treatment twice a day because the treatment didn't last very long. So we gave it in the morning, and then at 4 in the afternoon they came back for a second treatment. And that was the way that opiates worked in the body. You had a 6 to 8 hour period of time before you needed another treatment. So we thought that we were sort of copying what opiates did in a non-drug way, and that was a good thing. The first day we started using acupuncture without the electrical stimulation, we came back at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, no patients came. And my assumption was they didn't come because the treatment hadn't been as good. The next morning, they all told us, oh, the treatment lasted longer. We didn't have to come back for a second dose. And it helped us understand there's an acupuncture concept of sedation, where you give a very strong treatment so it has a short effect, and what's called tonification, where you're building something up. And it has a lighter treatment and it lasts for a longer period of time. So the electroacupuncture had been an overly strong treatment, a sedation or dispersing treatment with a short-term effect. And what we needed was to build up people's energy and build up their vitality, so that the non-electrical treatment was less strong stimulus and really worked a lot better for this effect. That's okay. Knock out the needle. Here, this